Today I'm going to show you how to make this adorable flamingo tumbler. If you like this tutorial, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also look for me on social media under Diamonds and Dust. And if you like my style of work, I offer more exclusive tutorials in my mentorship group. There will be a link for you down in the description if you would like to check that out. Today we are going to be base painting our tumbler with hot pink lipstick from Miss Lillian's chalk paint. This is a sublimation tumbler that was not guaranteed to sublimate, so I'm just going to use it as a regular tumbler. Your tumbler does not have to be white, but I have already prepped this tumbler by giving it a good sand with an 80 grit sanding block, and then I am just going to paint the entire tumbler this gorgeous pink. Let your tumbler dry completely, and then we are going to mix up a few milliliters of epoxy to apply our glitter with the epoxy method. We are using one of my brand new glitters that was from my past designer box. This is called Tranquility. If you would like more information on my designer boxes, I post that in my free Diamonds and Dust Facebook group. Make sure you go join that to keep updated. The new one is going to be released here in the next couple weeks. These boxes are super duper fun. They come with 3 coordinating brand new custom mixes and 2 sheets of vinyl that all coordinate. But I'm just going to use this one glitter from the box, and I'm going to spread on that epoxy super thin where your hand and fingers are gliding over it, but not like as thick as you're going to do an epoxy layer. Once you have that all coated, you are going to fully coat your tumbler in that Tranquility glitter. Let that glitter and epoxy layer cure for a couple hours, and then you are going to add another layer of epoxy. You want your tumbler fairly smooth for the next step, so if it is not smooth enough, you will have to add 2 layers. Once your epoxy has fully cured, you're going to grab your power wash and 3 colors of spray paint. Today we are going to be using Seaside, French Lilac, and Sweet Pea. We then are going to take our power wash and we are going to spray the power wash on our tumbler, and we are going to quickly grab those 3 colors randomly and spritz them on our tumbler. It was super windy today, so my paint did not turn out exactly how I wanted. You can see that I'm going to spray my tumbler and the wind is just carrying half the paint away, but in the end it turns out really pretty. But immediately after you get your paints fully coated, you are either going to take your hose and spray off those bubbles, or in my case, where it was so freaking cold, I just took it out and rinsed it in my kitchen sink. I do not have that recorded, but as soon as you get these spray paints on, you do not have to let them dry. You're just going to take some cold water and rinse off all those bubbles and then set your tumbler to the side to dry. Since it was so windy today, some of my bubbles were dissipating quicker than I can get the paint on. And I was a little disappointed in a section of my tumbler. I really wanted more of that glitter exposed. So this is my little trick. Instead of wiping all of that paint off, I just took a Q-tip and some acetone. I just have it in this little plump bottle, and I'm going to kind of connect the dots. We do not want this in any sort of a pattern. If you can kind of tell the way power wash goes on, there's no rhyme or reason. So I just remove a little bit here and there to expose more of that glitter. I cut out my Flamingo decal that I was going to use on this tumbler, and I realized that it wasn't sitting exactly where I wanted it. I tried to stretch him out a little bit and it just got too distorted to even look normal. So right here, I pivoted my design and I decided I wanted to take 1.5 inches off the top and 1.5 inches off the bottom of that power wash. So if you do not want to make this mistake and remove the paint, just make sure before you power wash to tape off the top and bottom. But for now, I am just going to tape off where I don't want the paint to be removed. And then I'm just going to take some acetone on a paper towel and remove that 1.5 inches from the top and bottom. Once you get that paint removed, just go ahead and remove that painter's tape, just pulling on it very gently so you don't pull any of the paint off of the tumbler. When I am making a tumbler, I try to get as least amount of coats on the tumbler as possible. So if I can skip a coat, I will. Right here, I just decided to place my Flamingo right over the power wash and eliminate one of those epoxy layers. If you do not feel comfortable doing this step, it is totally fine if you go ahead and apply a layer of epoxy in between your paint and your decal. Now it's time to cut your vinyl striping. I cut one section thicker and then I cut another section a little bit thinner. For the thicker sections, I am just going to place that right where the paint and the glitter line up. This will just leave a really clean edge instead of those raw paint lines exposed. Once you get the top and bottom placed on, you are going to take your thinner stripes and place them about 1/4 inch away from the thicker stripes. Depending on the material that you use to cut out your Flamingo, you may need to seal this decal. I seal all of my decals just in case because it's better safe than sorry. So I am going to take my trusty tumblerpoxy seal and I am just going to use my finger and brush it over the Flamingo, making sure he is coated really well. I am also going to do this on my vinyl striping to make sure it doesn't lift when I add epoxy. I thought this Flamingo was just totally a vibe, so I just cut out the word vibin in black with white offset, and I will place this decal right above his head. Once that is placed on, you are going to add your final layers of epoxy. And here is our tumbler all finished. I am obsessed with that cute Flamingo decal and that super gorgeous pink glitter. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching.